Being insulted is one of the things that we wouldn't expect to happen in our everyday life. Yet, it happens sometimes. I still remember when I was just married and moved to our parents' house. One of the neighbors said, "Hey, you live in your father-in-law's beautiful cottage?" I was surprised with that question. I really felt insulted. And it took me 20 years to forgive him until I learned Neuro-Semantics. And not only insult will take you down, but they can also be standing in your way between you and your goal. And once again, here's how I experienced. I was in an international trainer certifications. I wanted to be a trainer. Most of the participants are trainers in their countries. But for me, training is a new word. And what makes things worse, it was the first time I ever training abroad. And I have to present in front of people from other countries in English. So that makes me really, really nervous. And what did I say to myself? I said, what am I doing here? Is this really what I want? Now I am questioning my goals. Because for me, it's just like facing a big monster. I was so afraid of making mistakes. I was so afraid of what those people would respond to my weakness. I was so afraid of being insulted. So insult, although it's just a word, it can hurt you like a knife. It can push you away from achieving your goal. The question is, does it have to be that way? And fortunately, we have a choice. We have a choice to change our response. We have a choice to become uninsultable. Because between stimulus and response, there is always a gap. And within this tiny gap is our chance to change that response. So here, I would like to share with you 4 things that we can do to become uninsultable. And to make it easy to remember, I call this technique sipitung. Yes, sipitung. So, oh, sorry. Yes, sipitung. As we know, he was a legend from Betawi. He was a warrior that fights for his belief. So you can imagine yourself as a warrior that fights for your goals. So here's the first one. SI. Separate incoming information. So this is mean when someone tries to offer us an insult, let us allow ourselves to recognize the fact that what's coming to us is just words and gesture. They don't mean anything until we give it meaning inside ourselves. Because we give it meaning as insult. But we are the meaning maker. We can give it meaning anything we want. Just don't give it meaning as insult. Because if we give it meaning as insult, we will live it as insult. The meaning we give is the life that we live. So, separate incoming information. Secondly, is PI, means put it right, or put it where it belongs. Because that words and gesture that coming to us is not belong to us, right? It's belong to the other person. And we are not responsible for what other people thinking, feeling, saying, and doing. We only responsible for what we are thinking, feeling, saying, and doing. So by separating these responsibilities, we can draw a straight line. between what belongs to us and what's not belong to us. So it gives us a clear distinction about the ownership of that words and gesture. So it's just like if someone tries to offer us a gift and we don't want it, we can say sorry or no thank you. I have already mine. You can have yours. Okay? So put it right. The next is, this is the significant one, TOE, means take ownership of our empowerment. What is our power? We have the power to think, to feel, to speak, and to action. We have the power to control ourselves. We have self-control. Do we take ownership of them? Now, interestingly, a survey by 2 psychologists from the United States asking people, what is your greatest personal strength? And it is found that self-control was the one that least likely recognized within themselves. So what happened? What happened when we don't take ownership of our power? We don't protect ourselves. We let ourselves becoming the victim. We don't think that we can separate incoming information. We don't think that we can give it meaning. We don't think that we can separate responsibilities. So it's just like giving away your remote control to other people. And they can touch the button and you react. And we become that victim. So taking ownership of our power is a central key to this technique, as it's also a central key in running our life. Because otherwise, we will leave ourselves from a victim mental attitude. And I think it's not really a good idea, right? So, the next one, this is a little bit pushing. NG means not good. Yeah, which is literally means not me. Which is mean, don't take it personal. We take the insult as personal. When we take the insult, it's about me. It's not about something we say, it's not about something we do, but it's about me as a person. In this case, we confuse between human being and human doing. We are a human being, and our value is unconditional. It's not dependent on what we can do or what we cannot do. When we can do something or we cannot do something, it doesn't mean we become more human and we become less human, because we are more than what we do. So understanding this allows us not to become too defensive about ourselves, and we allow ourselves to always grow to become a better person. So those are 4 things that we can do to become uninsultable. But one thing to remember is, becoming uninsultable doesn't mean that we don't care about people and we have a so what attitude. It just means that we become so grounded within ourselves, with our value, with our vision, mission, and we make sure ourselves going the right way, achieving our goals. So applying this technique to myself, I become easily being in front of the people. Just like now, I'm standing in front of you, speaking in English. Thank you very much.